Hey, baby.
Hi.
Smile. Say cheese.
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 Goat cheese.
I think it's goat cheese. Yeah, we got some that was good. Say hi to Shadow. Shadow. Brrr. Shadow. All right. Well, honey, I'm gonna go out and chit chat with all our friends.
Have fun.
I'm gonna. Let's go out here. Tea just finished up. Oh my goodness. This year's batch of elderberry jelly. Let me slip my shoes on here. Step outside. I don't want to do this outside, but I gotta get out of the noise. All right, girls. All right, girls. Woo! Whoa! Look at them all over the. Wow! Let me get away from them. They're buzzing my head. It's in dearth. Woo! So I got a lot of updates for you folks. Things are changing. Yeah, they're everywhere. They're over here looking for water over there. We have had very little meaningful rain since the storm that took down our panels. We had one storm come through here about a week ago, and it made it humid for a little bit. The girls are flying. I fed them this morning, and way down there is a feeder because we're in dearth. Oh, come on, girl, out of my face. This patch is doing good. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them just right there. Those are the cantaloupe. Couple. Get off my ear, girl. There's some honeydews. All right, I got to find a place to go where they're not at. Hey, Mittens. What you doing, little girl? All right, so some updates on some things around here. We got a lot to talk about. Oh, go on, girls. They are aggressive. No, not me. I know I smell like something good. They're everywhere looking. Go on. All over me. Maybe this was a bad idea. You notice the darker dirt on top of the garden area. I went to, let's go over here out into the woods, show you something else too. So I went to my my dairy guy, and he's in the process of cleaning out his waste. I call it waste pond, but where all the poo drains down from the where all his cows, the field that's his cows in, big pond. And we were digging out, so I got some loads of basically multi-year old, well composted, completely cleaned up. Dang, get off of me, girl. I'm out away from that mess. You gonna come out here, Mittens? Got a bee following me out here. I just noticed that. That's not good. That's not good. Oh goodness. So much to talk about. Hey, there's a stump. Let me have a sit. Alright, so you gonna follow me, Mittens? So I got to go out to get a load of dirt. I put that in over there into the garden. That should enrich the soil. We've been watering because we're going down to our friends to get and you kind of can see it way through the woods there, that IBC tote. We were getting it full of water to water things and keep things going. And some stuff I lost and some stuff I managed to keep. And some things have been good. We'll maybe circle all this mess and go around the backside over there. Look at some of the cabbages and stuff. Look at oh God, they must smell me. Let's keep moving. So I managed to do that. This stuff we've been working on. One of my new community members, who is going to be here local, going off of me, B. He young fella, it's amazing. You get what you think about. You get what you put out. And I've been wanting certain things, and it's finally come through. So we have a new community member, and this young guy has some challenges that we all are dealing with, and but he needed a place, and we've got a place, and so he's going to be here local, and he works a really good job. He's a young guy, 22, young strapping boy, nice kid, real nice kid. And he says, well, we were talking, I was walking around, we're showing him all the homesteading stuff, and he's like, kind of surprised me, because we're going to have Ken come out here with his Kubota and his backhoe, and Ken is like thankful that he didn't have to do this because of some of these big rocks. He says, my little old backhoe would not have gotten these big rocks. What are you doing, girl? But anyway, this is another one. You guys remember the project that we were wanting to do for the root cellar or the storm shelter or whatever you want to call this hole in the ground. This is another project that we worked on, and it was so cute. Oh my God, he had his little 3-year-old boy sitting on his lap, and it's 100+ degrees out here, and he's working this, and eventually his son literally just falls asleep in his lap during the afternoon. But it only took him it was less than a day to do this, and he came in here, had one of those Bobcat mini excavators, and dug it out. So now I got to get to work here, and hopefully I can finish this thing before cold winter sets in. A lot of work to do, but look how dry this is. All the way down here. That is nothing but dusty dry. Just pure dust all the way down. It tells you how bad our drought is here. Looks good though. Really looks good. I got a lot of finish work, but he did great. There you go, Midnight. You gonna come out here too? These girls are on a feeding frenzy. Should have done the video before we fed them, because I didn't think they were gonna get this crazy. So anyway, we've done that. We've done a lot of work in the garden. We got some crops that are going to do okay. Some not. We've lost some stuff. It's really difficult. But it looks like we're going to finally break the dry spell come towards the middle and end of this week. Come Wednesday, and more likely Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there's like a really good chance of rain. A really good chance of rain. Dang, I must smell really good. I didn't think I had all that sugar on me. Maybe they're just smelling the sweat. Come on, little girl. Jeez, they're in a serious hunt. There's probably 60, 80 bees around. They've been coming to the air conditioning units to get a drink, but they are on a serious feeding frenzy. Anyway, since Ken has helped us with water, I've managed to keep this is popcorn. The corn that lower section down there below the other set of panels down there, that pretty much is all gone. Trying a whole bunch of stuff to keep different things going, but we scraped up the rest of this mulch here and put it on here, and that saved it. If I hadn't done that, I think we'd have lost everything in this section too. We've been watering everything that we can about every 2 to 3 days, but we got like a this was a kiwi. We figured we'd do like a nice post here. Entryway to the gardens, and we wanted a kiwi vine to go over it. Well, that was doing really, really good, and it started to come back, and then it just freaking died. All right, girls are on my back already. So that's what we've been doing. We've been getting some water. Hopefully I don't have to do this, and we can replenish all our, I'm going to sneak around the back way here. We can replenish all our tanks. Now we're not hurting for water as far as drinking and dishwater and shower water, because I shut off the irrigating out of our tanks before we would get that low. I know how to reserve, I know how to manage my resources. I need to cover that back up. We've gotten a bunch of these logs milled up. I did that a few weeks ago. The last couple of weeks of heat, we haven't done much. So I want to thank God for however that managed to come into my world, the spare fuels, because we're going to talk about that on the geopolitical sense, so to speak, here in a bit. But we made up a bunch of oak 2x4s and 2x6s, which is a nominal 1.5 by 3.5 and 1.5 by 5.5. They're a little end split. We'll get that cleaned up, but this will be the lumber. God, that stuff curves. Look at that curve on there. And this wood is going to be the pump house. And we got a good start on it. We got all the plumbing done. We got it done to now we have full running water and hot water down there in the lower cabin. Everything's there. The only thing we got to do now is finish the pump house over there to insulate everything so that we can handle it through the winter. So a lot of things are coming in. You can't quit no matter how difficult the times are. You cannot quit. You have to find different ways to do things. So I have, after losing 4 plantings of beans, I finally got this planting in. And these are chili beans, and not all of them have quite come up yet, but they're doing okay. I did a row of limas, but none of them have popped up. And here's some squash, and then I tried a late crop of beet, and then some of the onion seed we collected off our onions. I put them in to see if we could get onions. Good gracious, girls, they're all around the back of my head. And thanks to Ken again, and he is going to enjoy some of this harvest because of it. We're actually going to have some good cabbage this year. Look at this, my friends. Isn't that just beautiful? And these have finally started to build heads on them. Whew, that wind is crazy. And these are Excalibur. I forget what kind these are. And look at the Brussels sprouts. I think I'm going to actually get some good Brussels sprouts this year. What kind are these? Those were Golden Acre. So these are Golden Acre. So yeah, and once this rain comes in, I think it will seriously help us. I got to maybe go into the barn. Get away from the girls flying. You guys want to say hi to... Hey, Copper. Hey, Cole. Up here. You see me? And don't know what happened to him, but when his low swings finally popped out, he only has one. He only got... I hope that one works, because I need babies. I need some babies. Yes, I do. Wow, look at those girls flying. Feeding frenzy. We are in dearth. And for those who are beekeepers know, dearth means the lack of. And I would say that is very applicable to the human condition at this moment. Many of you would agree. However, many of you might agree that it is not because God hasn't provided. It is because man has created this condition of dearth upon the planet. So we got some other updates here. I want to bring into clarity. They're all looking. They're looking everywhere. Everywhere they're looking. Stay in here. They don't like to come into buildings, but they will. Boy, they're flying. So, there has been this differences of opinions about how things are going down based on some of the events that are going on, and some would look to certain things as a positive event, and some clarify my comprehension extraordinarily well. And let me give you an example. I've told you, folks, that this whole thing, this event, this time in history, this go-round, this cycle is as big as it is. All right, little girl, don't follow me in here. I know I smell sweaty and you smell water on me. It is that dry, and the poor girls are hurting. That this is not going to end or bottom from a market perspective or turn around until it's cleansed from the bottom up. And there's a lot of people online talking about the changes that could happen at the top, and this character and that character. That all part of it is a show. The reality is humans have a cancer within them in worshiping, and I'm going to choose those words specifically, worshiping the wrong entities, specifically government. And let me give you an example of why I tell you that it has to get cleaned out from the bottom up, not the top down. The top is only supported by that which is supporting it from the bottom. Meaning that it has got to get cleaned out. The negative, cancerous thinking has to get cleaned out. Where are you going, little girl? In every mind, in every family, the idea that government is the savior, and that you can just elect somebody new. You know, most of you on my channel know this, but I do get new subscribers, and I have people stumble onto the channel from time to time that haven't been here for all the conversations that we had. So to reiterate the point, we're going to have to clean it out from the bottom up. We cannot sit around on our thumbs and expect somebody come in as a savior. No. And even those that I follow that are doing the biblical discussions all say kind of the same thing, that basically Jesus ain't coming back until we get our shit in gear, if you believe in the Jesus path. So we have to fix ourselves before he even comes back, because we need to create the kingdom for which he is to rule. Now that's the biblical aspect of it. But from a real down-to-earth perspective, you know, the example is this. You saw, and I know most of you do a good job of research just like I do. You go to the sites that I do and see the articles. Zero Hedge is one of the biggest ones, but you saw what happened in Sri Lanka. And you get up this morning and see this article about the Minister of Energy, or whatever his freaking title is, has decided to initiate what the biblical word would be the beast system via these handy little electronic devices that everybody has to have. So in order to get gas, you need to scan a QR code to get your allotment of gasoline. You cannot buy or sell without the mark of the beast. So my friends, when I tell you, you can't chase out one leader and expect a little cricket making a lot of noise down there on that bag. You can't expect. So just a week ago, they chased out this guy, and this guy jumps on his own private plane, flies over to another country, and says, "Oh, I'm safe now. I quit. You can have it." And then the next guy steps up into place. that crowd does not understand it is the whole system. Because what did the system do? The system said, okay, you can get rid of him, but we're going to install that. Say goodbye to your leader that you don't like. Say hello to your new tyrant. One looks just like the other, so on and so forth. So until we clean out our own homes, our own houses, our own minds, our own neighborhoods, our own frickin' city councils, own frickin' sheriff's department, policy enforcers, legal law enforcing. Little girl, go on. I should have done this video before. They're really getting crazy too. Let's sneak around the back way here. And so just keep that in mind, because I still have people messaging me, commenting me, oh, what about Trump? What about this? What about that? And I'm telling you, until you get up and you go clean out your local area, ain't nothing to get fixed. Nothing will get fixed. It won't. Y'all moved out here, huh? I'm waiting for fall so I can pull my wild plum up here and see if I can't save it. Because you can see it's got just enough of these ropey roots in here that it hasn't completely died. I just got to be careful when I pull it back up and see if I can't get that root base to come back together. Cross my fingers. That rope is stretched. It was up here, and then it is just stretched on down. So because of that, these are the things that I see that make me feel less comfortable about our continued digression, because we don't, as a whole, not you and me individually, but we don't stand together and stand against this. We'll get rid of this guy and let the next, we won't stop having tyrants. We won't stop having rulers. We keep begging for the newest ruler. Because of that, you get what you want. You get a new ruler. And you think Trump is going to do it? Anyway, because there's a lot of folks out there that have a lot of really good knowledge, and you can learn from them. But if you don't listen to all and follow none, and realize that just because this guy's got a hell of a lot of really good insights on things, he'll turn right around and talk about, oh, they're covering it. See how close I can get. One of my favorite guys to listen to on certain things is Mr. High. Oh, they're mowing down. That's dropped about this much in there since I put it down, and literally minutes before we started this video. Sneak around out here into the woods. My trail cams. I got the one there, and I got the one down there that we walked past. The girls, the mama does, and there's about 3 or 4 mama does that have been out here coming in. They've gotten, wow, look how bad that ground is cracked. Whew, the ground is cracked up. Dry, we need the rain. The mama does, I might want to go a little deeper into the woods. Actually, I'm going to go back the other way because the wind is blowing towards them. They'll smell me. So the mama does, and I've got took a little video clip. I don't think I'm going to edit it in there. All right, out of my face, girl. And come out here one day, and one of the fawns was out here, and that's when the ticks were bad. The ticks have seemed to settle down a little bit here, but I actually had one of the little fawns come up to me, and I got to, gently pet it a little bit, and but it's with the mamas, and the mamas come in to feed, and I put a little corn here, and a lot up here, and then some over there, and then in front of that camera down where that feeder's at. And the mamas have gotten so accustomed to us feeding, they're sitting in the woods here, or sometimes right up in here, just waiting for us. They know when feeding time is, and sure enough, I'll come feed the pigs, and I put their pans of food right there, and I'm talking to the pigs, and Mama Doe's standing right here just wagging her tail, waiting for us to come down, and I'll walk over there, or she's sitting over there just waiting. I think they'd have been hurting if we weren't feeding them, because there's nothing for them to graze on. It's all dried up. So we've been taking care of them as well, putting a lot of feed right here for the camera. So because of that, those conditions, and because of, we've been watering our little pecan. This one actually made it through last summer. This is the second pecan I put in. We almost lost our cherry because of the drought. I'm hoping it hangs on. We keep watering them. So this is why I'm very concerned, because I am seeing the attacks of the beast system on people like me getting more and more in your face and more violent. I have dealt with more issues. Don't wish to speak of negative stuff, but I have dealt with more issues. Oh, would you look at that dude? You know what that is, don't you? It's a dung beetle. This is about the third or fourth time I've seen one. Got you a piggy poo, little dung beetle. It's kind of cool. You keeping the dung beetles happy? I wish they would hurry up and breed. So, in closing here, this is why I'm wanting to keep as low a profile as possible. Somebody else online mentioned that a lot of the old YouTubers that we used to watch have quietly just gone away. And I think that's for a good reason. And I think I'm in agreement with it, is because, well, for one, we've done our thing. As most of you will remember me saying this, I did my channel not because I wanted to get in there and make money. It was never an income source for me. It was never a source of funding for me. The only reason I ever monetized my channel, because I went about 1.5 years without monetizing it. The only reason I monetized it was because I was basically told by other YouTubers that if you don't do this, your channel won't grow. Okay? So I monetized it so that, it would incentivize YouTube to put my stuff out there, and then my channel grew and grew and grew. And it did really well. You all remember the old channel, was way over 20,000 subscribers and climbing fast until the censorship kicked in. Then, 4 years ago, in 2018, I had so many of you that are saying, thank you for all the stuff you got helped us with. Would you, how can we give back? And it was at your behest that I created the Patreon channel as a means by which you could gift back on things. Now, some of you would send packages and stuff like that, and we've been so blessed with so many of you gifting back for the gifts that we've given. And that's why we did it. All right, girls. So here's the thing. As we've gone through this journey, we have learned a lot about how this beast system is going to work and control things. And it is cross-connected and cross-checked and algorithm this and algo that and data collection on this. So it's real hard to not be in the net. But I truly believe that from the Christian perspective, that those of us who truly are going to stand by our morals, our convictions, and our spiritual beliefs are going to have to get rid of these things entirely, not too distant future from now. And I'm going to be, I've been hinting at it, I've been telling you that I'm going to be doing this. Got some good yarrow seed, look at that. I should spread this out. Put some of this yarrow seed over here. Has some more grow. So, I will be, I'm going to try breaking these algos. It's been very hard because I got so many of you that we have so many good friendships and relationships. The biggest issue is you're not here in this area. You're not here in the Homestead area. You're 3 states that way, 2 states that way, half a country that way, over the ocean that way. You're all over the place, which makes it hard. If we could take our community and bring it together on a physical level, we'd be unstoppable. But we're separate. And it'd be lovely if we could all be like that. Just down the street from each other. But that's been challenging. A lot of people couldn't do this. Some have, but they do it in their own way because they don't have, you see the challenges. So I will be attempting to, as I basically said in the last video and other previous videos, to break some of these algo links. And let me give you a couple of the techniques that I'm going to be implementing in our new comm plan, our new communication plan. Unfortunately, what are you doing, Midnight? Unfortunately, I cannot continue certain social networking, like the YouTube channel, or I don't do Twitter and a lot of those other things because I just don't have the time for it. But I can't continue one without maintaining that link, that constant link to me, because so I created that new Heritage Homestead Creations, and I got a few subscribers. But what I've noticed about it is, because it's tied to my Google account through the devices and so on and so forth, you can't, it won't grow. It's stymied and censored just as bad as the main channel is. So people still get unsubscribed. Let's see if I can sit down over here. People still get unsubscribed, all those issues that we've been dealing with over the last few years. But yet there's still channels that are growing and thriving. And there's reasons for that. And I think it's specifically exactly about what we say. The channels that are still there, still on those channels, the only thing that's kept them going and why they have not been, that was the funniest thing ever. That little gray bantam, right there, tried to kick the butt out of that black and white rooster. Now that's attitude. Hey, Mittens. So, again, those who are still on YouTube are advocating the beast system or government. They still say, make sure you vote, or work with your such and such agent of the government, and stuff. They still talk in their language and give credence to the existence of that system and that mentality. The ones that aren't on are the ones that said the same thing that I have, is that we got to get rid of them somehow or another through through whatever process humanity needs to do. Until the mentality of I can do whatever I want to and violate your rights, and I can make laws that allow me to violate your rights, and as long as I'm in with the good guys, the ones with the... We're watching duck sex. Duck sex. One of the hens, the duck hens, has started laying. We got a duck egg. They don't like doing it on land. They're supposed to breed in water, but we don't have much. So what I'm going to do, and it's going to take time, is I've gotten a new phone, but this new phone does not have our name on it, and we will not be giving it to but just a small handful of people. There will be a group of people that we will give it to, and we will not, or we will expect to, and not... I'll get out of my face, little girl. I know I got water dripping down my face. It's not for you to drink. Be entering the number into your contacts. It will be written on a piece of paper and only used in extreme emergencies. And there will only be a handful of people that get it. We have 2 of these smartphones where we can get internet on them and so on and so forth. We're dropping one. We're going to drop the one that has the last number is 6. For all of you, and there's a lot of you that have that number. For all of you that have that number, if you absolutely want to keep in contact, and some of you care and some of you don't, it's not that big a deal to some, and some of you go, yeah, I really, really want to keep up with you. You're going to have to, email me or something in order for me, or text me or whatever. Text me on that number, the one that ends in 6, and we will probably give you the other number for the time that we keep it. But it will only be friends, a handful of friends and family that will get the third number. So we're going to get rid of the one. Drop it entirely. It's the one that all the Google stuff is tied to. I have to drop, by the end of this month, I have to drop that email address. I'm no longer going to pay for the Erin.scott at scottsolarllc.com. I'm not going to pay for that email anymore. I will be getting a new email, and go on, girl. God, these girls are violent. Well, not violent because they're not stinging, but they're very annoying. You can see them all over the place. So, I will leave. I've got to set up one. I think I'm going to do this Proton email. I'm going to set up a Proton, email. And I will leave it in a pinned comment in either this video or one to come. So you'll have to look for it in order to get the email address. And what I may do is the email list the people. Well, no. I think I'll just let you get it, because that way you're in effort to make sure that your contacts are up to date. So I'll leave it there. You'll have to either get it out of the pinned comment or contact me and say, give it to me. Let me know what it is. That way, if it's not that big a deal, I don't have to carry forward more than what's going to be necessary. I never got into this stuff on YouTube for fame. I never got in to become, popular. That's not what this whole deal was about for me. Are you going to come up here? This whole deal for me was to help as many people as I could prepare for what has already happened and what's coming next. What are you? Really? Really? What's the matter, huh? So, say hello. Say hello. She loves her mama. So, and then because the email and those phones, those are part of the algo links. I'm going to be dropping that email and the phone in the next 30 to 45 days or something like that. I also am going to go ahead and sometime mid next month to the end of next month, I will be dropping, see if I can figure out how to shut down Patreon. It's very, very appreciated that all the people who have gifted to us through that. I think that if any future gifts are sent, it will be done via the old-fashioned snail mail. There's so many of you that have my post office box. That will do. We're going to go back to the old ways. So, and then at some point, I struggle with getting rid of the YouTube channels. What I've considered doing, and why don't you comment below, let me know your thoughts. What I thought about doing is, if I stay and continue to put up YouTube channels, that it is done with a completely new channel in such a way that it's not tied to my AdSense, it's not tied to any of the pre-existing stuff, and then different name and whatnot, and then maybe even different content. I don't know. When I see things that are going on in this world, it makes me just want to draw in and kind of just not focus on that stuff, because it's just not pleasant, and it means being in conversation, not putting up videos for the last few weeks on such a regular basis. It's actually been good, because it's been so stinking hot. It's pretty warm now. We got almost 90 degrees, and this wind, it feels like an oven blowing on you. What do you think, Mittens? What do you think, Mittens? So, the girls are everywhere. Oh, jeez, they're everywhere. It's kind of, I see things going on in this world, and it just nothing positive when it comes to, other than, the few local people, the few community members that are building together. There just isn't to stand against it from the ground up. The only real pushback is the show. Watch the show. Oh well, there's this little bit of stuff going on with Biden's son. Yeah, there are so many people that need to not be doing what they're doing, and we're talking about the tens of thousands. That original Q stuff that, talking about, having to have tens upon tens of thousands of people in Guantanamo. That was kind of, hopeful. There's a lot of people that really need to get cleaned out of the system to bring the system down, but I don't know. I know this. I know these things are not going to be good to have in your hand. What you see going on in China, the fact that even though they threw out the whoever the president or ruler was there in Sri Lanka, and then they turned right around and say, well, guess what? You need a QR code on this thing just to get gas. Okay? So it didn't change nothing. You understand that? And the only way that I know to really make an impact on the system is to stop feeding the system. Stop using the currency units. Stop buying food at the grocery store. Stop paying them electricity bills or water bills. Stop feeding the beast. Because until you do that, you have not stood on your morals. You have not stood on your belief system. Oh yeah, I believe this, but I'll go right down to that grocery store, or right down to this gas station, or right down to this or that, and I will get, the stuff they provide for me, And as long as they provide it for me, I'll do what they tell me to do. I'll go get my driver's license. How many of you dropped your driver's license? How many of you have gave the system the middle finger? You know, it's not as easy as you think it is. It's very tough, and I'm dealing with the consequences of that. Because the system knows, the system is very aware that I am a dissenter. And that's why I want to break the digital links. And I'm going to be doing that over the next few weeks. It's determined. I'm just not sure how and to when I cut what off. So the number with the 6 is going. The number with the very last number with the 6, that's going. If you really want to keep up with me, you can, text me or whatnot, and I'll, depending upon who, but most of you, I'll probably share the other number with you, because most of you don't have the second number. A few of you have the second number. And then the new flip phone that we got, nobody gets it except for those that are absolutely the closest. And that'll be the last point of actual communications that I'll hold on to before I let go of that. So, what do you think, Mittens? She says it's a little cooler out here in the shade. Alright, folks, I've rambled on. As you can see, we are still heavily trying to get things working, dealing with the challenges. We're going to all have to overcome them. Nobody gets through this without getting this kind of similar kind of setup in your world. Try and do the best you have. Local community, people that you can, connect with. Next door neighbors, you got to have that community. I do have it, not as much as I'd like. I mean, there's certain ones I wish would be here, because they said they were going to be here, and I wish they'd be here. I've got new ones that have come in. Got a young guy over here. He's really doing. He's got a good character so far. His word, I wasn't expecting him to come dig that hole. He just asked me about it, and he says, "Well, I'll see you this weekend." I said, "Okay," and I still wasn't all that sure about it, because most people will say things and not do it. So, just stay vigilant, my friends, and then stop feeding the beast. For God's sakes, just stop feeding the beast. Become as independent as possible. A lot of other YouTubers now saying, well, you kind of got to be independent from the system. Amazing. I was saying that 10 years ago. But, humanity, it's a slow growing thing, We, as a whole, take our time. We don't like change. But anyway, this is it for now. There's a lot of updates I wanted to share with you. Stock up, store up, and then produce. I love watching the turkeys chase those June bugs. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen. They go after them little June bugs so hard, and boy, when they get them, it's football time. Got some clearing out. Might have a chance of rain tonight, but most of it comes in later in the week. We're supposed to get up to 2 to 3 inches. Go to the National Weather Service extended accumulation, extended precipitation maps. They're real good for looking at what's supposed to come. Not always right, but anyway, lots going on, lots of stuff happening. Love to keep chatting with you, but the beast is still growing, and it's not going to be pretty. So I guess that's all I got. I mean, there's lots of more things I'm going to do. I don't know. Like I said, the whole YouTube thing, I'm still, because that is very much a control mechanism. The whole YouTube thing. I love communicating with a lot of you out there. I really love communicating with you, but I see the writing on the wall. I see the writing on the wall, and I see what they're going to do. Sri Lanka is just a small example of them taking their steps. Fine, you didn't like that guy we gave you. It's fine, but guess what? You're still going to work our system. You ain't getting no gas if you don't behave properly. So, on that note, get off their game board, my friends, as much as you possibly can, because normalcy is not what you think it is. Maybe give me some chili beans. See the difference in the dirt color? Yeah. Manure. All right, folks. There's Smokey. Say bye to Smokey. Meow. 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 Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. All right. Bye-bye, folks.